Hi everyone, it's Anahita Rao again. Today I want to get into some fundamentals about astrology, about Vedic astrology, the difference between Western and Vedic and how the system works. So the basic foundation is what I want to discuss. I'm coming to you today from very hot and humid London. We're having very unusually hot weather here. I will be having some, drink and etc. on the side, so bear with me. Okay, all right, so let's get into the discussion about I want to talk about the differences between Vedic and Western astrology, and just to make it more clear as to how the system works. And what are some of the differences and how they reflect in the readings. So in Vedic astrology, the planets and the sky itself is considered to be our higher nature. It is the incarnation of Vishnu himself. So divinity is basically reflected in the sky itself. And the placements of the planets at the time of our birth, so when you look at an individual birth chart, are considered to be the fruits of one's karma in this life. Yeah, so that's the fundamental thing about Vedic astrology, also known as Jyotish. Now, the space in which planets revolve around the sun is divided into 12 parts. By taking the sun in the center. And these are known as rashis, or also zodiac signs. Is something that perhaps you might have heard of, which is quite commonly used in Western astrology. Then further, the 12 rashis are made of 27 star groups along the ecliptic, and these are known as nakshatras, or star constellations. And these constellations each have spiritual energies that are emulated in all the cultures, and the way that they play out in your chart depends on what planet is sitting in that particular nakshatra. So now, by contrast, the zodiac that is used in Western astrology is based on seasons, with the same properties of the constellations assigned to them. So Aries, Taurus, Gemini, etc. The Western system, however, uses a different calculation known as the tropical system, which is based on the position of the vernal equinox. So the tropical defines the zodiac based on the Earth's location with respect to the sun only. And thus it focuses on the sun signs in Western astrology as the primary reference point to any sort of prediction. Whereas the Vedic system is based on the fixed stars, which is also the star constellations known as nakshatras. So the sidereal system is the calculation that we use in the Vedic system. So the sidereal system, as opposed to the tropical system based on season, is more based on what is in the sky at that given moment. So what you look up and you see in the sky where the planets are, that's the sidereal system. Vedic system defines the zodiac with respect to the Earth's location connected to the sun, as well as the fixed stars that actually make up the zodiac. So because of that calculation, there's a 23-degree difference. So all the planets in your Western chart would effectively shift back 23 degrees in your Vedic chart. Another unique feature of the Vedic system, which simply doesn't exist in the Western system at all, is the concept of dashas, which are cycles of times, which allow for a very sort of precise prediction. So now there are many dasha systems in the Vedic system. The most commonly used one is called Vimshotri, a system that uses a 120-year cycle in which each planet rules a certain number of years, because it was thought to be that in Kali Yuga, people lived up to 120 years. which is actually, if you look at the practical aspect of it, is quite true. Now, the start of the first Vimshottari planetary dasha cycle is used on the basis of the nakshatra, or the star constellation, where the moon resides in any given birth chart. Yeah? And the planetary ruler of that moon's nakshatra will determine the first dasha period, right? So for example, if you are born in your birth chart, you have the moon sitting in Leo, in the first 10 degrees of Leo, which is ruled, and the first 10 degrees of Leo is ruled by a nakshatra known as Magha. Now, Magha is ruled effectively by Ketu, which means that if your moon is in Magha, then your very first planetary period that starts off your birth will be Ketu. Yeah? And then, of course, after that will come Venus and etc. And then it follows the same cycle as it would with any given birth chart. So now, in contrast to the Western system, which takes the sun as the pivotal point of the chart, in the Vedic system, the moon is the main reference point, because it is from the moon that everything is perceived, because the moon is the representative of your mind, of your emotions. Yeah. Now, karma itself enters into the mind as a samskara. And this is based on our past. It can be based on this life, or it can be based on any number of previous lives. And so it is from the moon that everything grows, beginning in our consciousness first, and then manifesting into the world, which is why the moon is the main reference point, and it becomes quite important in a birth chart. Now, another important feature of the Vedic system is the usage of yogas. Now, these are basically assessed in a chart based on how the planets are sharing their energy with each other. The disposition of the planets, their placements in a birth chart. So all of those things are assessed to see what specific special results that these yogas will produce for an individual. And the yoga gets activated by the dasha sequence that you're going through in your life at that given moment. So there are more than 400 yogas mentioned in the classics. But they have to be assessed for also their strength and their ability to give the what you would call the fruits of that are promised in the chart. Whether they will get an opportunity to give those benefits also has to be looked at. So they might be very, very strong and have the potential to give the benefits, but then you might never get the dasha sequence of that planet that is promising the yoga. So it doesn't really manifest. It doesn't get activated, and therefore it doesn't really manifest. And so those are the kinds of things that you look at when you review the chart as a whole, and those are some of the differences that that you will see in the Vedic versus the Western system. I hope you found that helpful. Please subscribe below, and check out my website when you have a chance as well. I've got a lot of articles there that I've posted on various topics. Yeah, anahitarao.com. Thank you. Bye-bye.